anyone says about him is true. He has got a nasty side to his temperament, but I wouldn't be too bothered about that, you know, because I think all great players over the years have had a touch of that. And he can put his foot in when he wants to, we know that.
He's looking at me like that.
I was just thinking about you and myself. You never called me great, so I don't know the
But the plus point from, whatever the result on Saturday, the first thing we said after the game was, Rooney's back on Wednesday.
Yeah, a good opportunity for Wright-Phillips tonight, Lee, to perhaps establish himself, certainly as a threat perhaps to David Beckham's position.
Yeah, I think loads of potential. I mean, I didn't realise he was 23. I thought he was a bit younger than that. He started a bit later, but I mean, on that right side tonight, I think he's really got to show that he can put pressure under David in that position. I like him a lot. I think his enthusiasm, and that's what we need tonight. We need a high tempo game with people like Wright-Phillips on the ball as much as we can.
He can certainly get up and down, attack defenders, and of course we always say that defenders hate playing against pace. He's got an abundance.
Yeah, England are going to play Ledley King in the holding role. Alan, how do you think that'll pan out?
Bit surprised.
It's half, really.
Yeah, bit surprised really when you look at the team tonight. They've got 4 centre backs in the team, with Jaime Carragher at left back and Ledley King, and obviously the 2 centre backs in there. It would be interesting to see what the midfielders in the squad think of him playing.
We want England to be more positive. We've got 4 centre backs.
I dare ask you a few predictions. Let's get on with it. Now, lots at stake elsewhere tonight, and with a touch of your red button, you can keep up with all the qualifying scores and tables while still watching the game here at Old Trafford. And if you have a 3G phone and want to tell us how you think England will fare in Germany next summer, get in touch on 62001, where standard rates apply. Right, I think we're due a performance. England versus Poland. Let's join our commentators Graham Lasso and John Motson.
Well, thanks very much, Gary, and good evening to everybody. Most of the older generation will remember 1973 and Poland knocking England out of the qualifiers at Wembley. But Gary, you were too modest to mention that next time we played them in Mexico in 1986, you scored a hat-trick in a 3-0 win. And in the previous game, Brian Robson was injured and Ray Wilkins was sent off for showing disrespect to the referee. So let's start tonight by looking at a man who has, as they say, got a bit of previous. And he is Milton Nielsen, the Danish referee who sent off Wayne Rooney a few weeks ago in a Champions League match for showing disrespect, and also 7 years ago showed David Beckham the first of his 2 red cards in an England shirt. So let's hope tonight Milton Nielsen can keep his cards firmly in his pocket, and his notebook will only include the time of the goals, because Poland's recent record suggests we're going to see a few, one end or the other. They've scored 26 in their 9 qualifiers so far, including 3 goals in 6 of those games. Their 5 victories this season have all been by a 3-2 score, and the goals they conceded against Austria and against Iceland in a friendly last Friday suggest they have weaknesses in defence that the likes of Owen and Rooney may be able to exploit. Well, the floodlights are on tonight. It's a completely different atmosphere to Saturday, so far anyway. There's 65,000 people here. Rooney, we hope he's restoring some imagination to the England attack. The crowd here, as the officials walk out to shake hands with the players, is another massive 65,000. And I have to say, Graham Lasso, something that escaped me, but Mark Bright phoned me on Sunday about the crowds at the other World Cup qualifiers were quite modest compared to ours. I mean, the England fans do turn out, don't they?
There's a huge enthusiasm for this England team. I think the stars that we have in this team and the way they can light up a match brings crowds here. They'd sell out most places in the country, I think. So, what we're hoping for tonight, as you've rightly said, is a performance that is more relaxed and a bit more free. Let's get players that are playing with a bit more freedom going forward. Let's get the team up the pitch. Let's show Poland some respect, but also show what we're capable of, and that's by putting them under as much pressure as we can, making them make mistakes, and then by doing that, get our good players on the ball in dangerous areas.
Jacek Bąk, the Polish captain, who now plays his club football in Qatar. He's been at the heart of a fairly shaky defence recently, and as we await the national anthems, the record between England and Poland, 16 meetings, and Poland have only won once. That was in Katowice in 1973, just before the Wembley game. That's Paweł Janas, the Polish coach who played in the 1982 World Cup when they finished third, as they did indeed in 1974.
And also remember to raise your flags behind.
Now then we'll have the respective anthems. Polish supporters here tonight. They obviously thought when they bought their tickets that qualification could have been at stake. Ledley King looks a giant when he's standing next to Shaun Wright-Phillips.
He's a big guy, and it's a big game for him tonight, Ledley King. I think he's got an opportunity to show that he can bring a bit of balance to the defensive side of England's midfield, and that should give Frank Lampard the opportunity to break forward, and we can maybe see him making those attacking runs we see him often doing for Chelsea.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have a look at the England team again, because as Gary said, Eriksen's made 4 changes, 3 enforced. He's come under some heavy fire from the newspapers this morning, although when I spoke to him, he said he hadn't read them, and he's brought in Ferdinand for Campbell, Wright-Phillips for Beckham, and King for Gerrard. And the return of Rooney, of course, from suspension means that Peter Crouch drops out. Joe Cole's on a yellow card. That might not matter too much now, but Poland, well, they field the Celtic on-loan goalkeeper Artur Boruc. Jesiu Dudek is not even fit enough for the bench. Grzegorz Rasiak of Tottenham plays up front with another Celtic man, Żurawski, who's got a great goal-scoring record in the qualifiers. And on the left there, wearing 5, Kamil Kosowski, on loan at Southampton from Kaiserslautern. So there are 2 or 3 players there that English viewers will know pretty well. Number 14 plays at left back. He starts in that position wearing that number. And again, there are a couple of yellow cards there. The substitutes, well, England have got 3 strikers on the bench there. Defoe, Bent and Crouch. Well, 4 if you count Alan Smith, although Eriksen's point about him to me was that if he comes on, it might be in midfield where he's been playing for Manchester United. But Jermaine Jenas is there as well. Kieran Richardson, incidentally, withdrawn from the squad this morning because he's got a slight thigh injury and they didn't want to take a chance even on putting him on the bench. So Kim Milton Nielsen with the ball. And it's a case of here we go again. I think the one thing about this game that does need to be, although it obviously winning the group hinges on it. If England win, they win the group. If they don't, Poland win it. But winning the group could have some effect on the seedings when the World Cup draw is made. FIFA haven't yet decided about that. But England, if they win this game and the Argentina friendly in November, which you can also see live with us, by the way, would move up in the FIFA rankings, and that could also be a criteria when FIFA decide how they're going to do these seedings in December. England are 11th at the moment in the world. Poland are wearing red shirts and white shorts. I seem to remember they wore red at Wembley back in 1973, but goodness me, don't the years go. Anyway, sorry, Graham. That's an early touch for Luke Young to Rooney. And Żewłakow now, the left back. Michael Owen is wearing the captain's armband in the absence of David Beckham. This is Ledley King to Jaime Carragher. Started as we expected with Joe Cole wide on the left, Shaun Wright-Phillips wide on the right, and Rooney already showing coming off his marker. Now it's Carragher moving forward. Smolarek, number 8, is the man up against him. Ferdinand. Wright-Phillips looks for Rooney. Challenge was by Bąk. Żurawski with King, and Żurawski's a tricky customer, number 9. He's got some really good records in terms of scoring at this level, and that was an opportunity for Smolarek to get inside. Żurawski scored 15 goals in 47 games for Poland, 7 in the qualifiers alone. Joe Cole was doing well there, finding Rooney. Moving up here is Young. 4 or 5 England players on the edge of the area there, and that's a free kick. Michael Owen brought down by Jacek Bąk.
Nice start by England. They're passing the ball well, sharply. They look sharp. They look like they want to get bodies forward. Ledley King playing slightly behind Frank Lampard allows Jaime Carragher and Luke Young to get forward and support their wide men. Joe Cole, good run, and we've got a free kick with Michael Owen. Let's hope this progresses into something useful.
Well, there's no Beckham here, so Rooney is taking charge with Lampard. And the goalkeeper, Boruc, is peering anxiously around his wall at the moment. And it's Rooney.
He's just seen a space around the outside of the wall. The wall was set up quite near to the post, which allowed Wayne Rooney the opportunity to try and just bend it round. You can see he just approaches the ball. He gets a good whip on it, but not quite enough. I think it ends up hitting the side netting.
So Rooney, who's yet to score in these qualifiers, his last goal was back in Euro 2004 competitively. Scored the only goal in Denmark, of course, when England got a thrashing there back in August. That was Żurawski, back to number 10. Oh, he's lost it, Lewandowski, and it's come to Wright-Phillips. Rooney, Owen and Cole are all to the left. It's still Wright-Phillips up against Żewłakow, and he's forced the corner. For which John Terry and Rio Ferdinand are on their way forward. It's going to be taken by Lampard. And that is John Terry. Oh, and that nearly fell for Ledley King.
A little bit unlucky there, Ledley King. The ball came to him quickly, but if he'd got a better first touch, he would have had a great opportunity to hit the target with a strike.
So another free kick to England. That was number 8 Smolarek this time on Joe Cole. England won 2-1, of course, in Poland last year. That's the only defeat the Poles have had in this group. Lampard with the free kick. Had to backpedal there and turn it over. It was floating dangerously close to his crossbar.
That's a decent ball by Frank. It's one of those balls that if it's high, it goes nearly in the goal. But if it's at the right height, you've got a good chance of one of the big defenders getting their heads on it.
Well, Lampard will take the corner again. Flicked on. Oof, didn't quite reach Ferdinand. It's come back to Jaime Carragher. This is Lampard again. Terry stays forward. Rooney trying to get... Oh, he has got round the back, has he? No. He's been penalised, and he picks up his opponent in good spirit, and Poland have a free kick.
A little bit unfortunate, Wayne Rooney, because he's just got a bit of contact on his body, and the Polish number 7 really plays for that, to be honest, but Wayne nearly just anticipated what he was doing and hooked the ball back. Well,
the ball's been in the Poland half for nearly 6 minutes. This was Ledley King's opportunity. Went away. Here's Rasiak. He's also dangerous. He's now with Tottenham, of course, having moved from Derby County. Żewłakow. Right across to Baszczyński, the right back. He's lost it there, but wins it back and loses it again. This is Lampard. Cole to his left. Owen ahead. Here's Cole. With that kick up to Rasiak. Żewłakow to Lewandowski. King. This is Owen to Rooney. Two to his left. He's going at them. He's going right at them, Wayne Rooney. It's a great run. Oh, and he unselfishly tried to pick out Joe Cole. And here's Owen. And Rooney again. Oh, what a... Well, it's a clever back heel, but is the England player offside? That's the question. It was Jaime Carragher. I thought Rooney was going to go and finish that himself, Graham.
Oh, what a great run. I mean, already you can see that the England midfield are in touch with the England forwards, and they're playing some nice triangles, get the ball to Wayne Rooney in a dangerous area, and when Wayne Rooney's running it, you've got no chance. And there I thought he could have maybe taken another touch to draw the central defender out, and that may have given him the opportunity. You just see him going through, and he unselfishly looks up, sees Michael Owen. I think if he takes another touch, he draws a Polish defender towards him, and that might free up one of the England other strikers.
Did bear out my thoughts about their central defence, though. Mariusz Jop, the number 2, just waved him past, didn't he? I suppose he was worried about bringing him down.
Well, when Wayne Rooney's running at you as a central defender, you've got to get to a stage where you make a decision where you're not going to let him come any further. In fact, the Polish defender actually, I think, made the right decision. If you let Wayne Rooney come in your box, you don't want to be trying to tackle him in there.
Well, it was a good start to the evening for the man who's only a teenager for another 2 weeks. This is Young to Wright-Phillips. Two wide men are pushing right up tonight, Graham. It's noticeable, isn't it, how far up the pitch Wright-Phillips and Cole are.
Yeah, you can see that there's a much better link between the team. Ledley King in front of the back four, and that allows people to get forward in front of him like Wright-Phillips now.
Here he is. 3 coming into the box on the other side. Wright-Phillips with the shot.
I don't know about you, John. I remember at the weekend we were sort of noticed the atmosphere and the pace of the game within 10 minutes, and look at the difference tonight. We're playing so much more quickly. The tempo's a lot better. There's much more aggression in our passing and our runs. So it's a much more sort of comfortable sort of situation we feel like we're in now, and we're going to create chances tonight.
Well, let's hope it continues. Steve McLaren there next to Sven-Göran Eriksson. Rooney on the pitch to Owen, and back again. And he was bustled out of it there by Sobolewski, the number 7, who makes a determined run into the England half until Ledley King intercedes with an excellent tackle and finds Lampard. King again. Young, after interchanging with Wright-Phillips. Rooney wants it now. Young goes the other way.
Luke Young had a great opportunity to thread Wayne Rooney through there. He made a brilliant run off him, and Young chose the easier option of playing it square to another midfielder.
Wright-Phillips wins it back though from Żurawski, and England have got a lot of possession here. Owen. John Terry giving it to Rooney, and now Cole. Carragher's out there as well. Oh, Jaime Carragher coming, and that got a free kick there. The referee was very close and gives a goal kick now. This is Carragher.
A little bit of wishful thinking by Jaime Carragher. I think he overran it slightly. Again, that's the problem you have as you know, I'm a great defender of Jaime Carragher because I think the fact he's playing out of position and plays it so willingly shows the sort of character of the man. But the fact is, being a right-footed player, playing on the left-hand side of the pitch, it's always going to be difficult when you get in those attacking areas.
Well, Poland have yet to launch a real attack of their own, but at the moment England are getting to the ball quicker. That was King.
He's made an impressive start, Ledley King. He made a fantastic tackle which broke up one of Poland's opportunities to attack, and I think that him just sitting in front of that back four allows people to work off him in front.
That's the first effort of the evening from Rasiak, going harmlessly past poor Robinson's post. The England goalkeeper Robinson actually took the #1 spot over against Poland last year. He's 26 on Saturday next, Paul Robinson. It was that game where David James was first replaced. He's kept it since. Lewandowski, bustled out of it again by King. Now Rooney. Cole to his left, 3 others to his right. Lampard goes ahead. This is Żewłakow. Young wins it back. Owen. Just not quite there, the Rooney touch on that occasion. There's a free kick anyway given against Cole.
Once again, it's good movement by Joe Cole. Came in off the line that time, and when you're playing in that position with the creativity that he has, timing your run coming in off the line allows you to link up with the quality of Wayne Rooney, and it nearly paid off there for England.
Well, there's some heroes there. Sir Tom Finney, Sir Bobby Robson, Sir Bobby Charlton. 3 footballing nights. The Southampton player who's on loan from Kaiserslautern, Kosowski, can play on either flank actually. Started on the left tonight, and one of their other wide men, Krzynówek, who we thought would start, is only on the bench because he's got a slight injury, so that hasn't helped their team selection. But Rooney's return looks as though it's going to help Eriksen's. He's hit that free kick right across towards Wright-Phillips. Kosowski. Rasiak. He gets the free kick. Not that I'm thinking he needed it really. His body strength had held off the opponent already. Here's King. Kosowski with he's given it away to Ferdinand. He had Rasiak waiting. Cole. Foul by Basinski on Cole.
It's important now that England keep this momentum going from the opening 10 minutes, John, and you know, try and just keep building and putting Poland under pressure, not allowing them in the game, and then eventually we'll get our rewards, I think.
Well, let's hope so. Żurawski actually is playing behind Rasiak. They're sort of playing a 4-4-1-1, the Poles, at the moment. This is John Terry. Carragher. Cole. Rooney again comes deep to make a pass possible, but then he puts his own pass out of play.
That's good run by Wayne Rooney. This time he's working backwards and actually getting in between the lines of the Polish midfield. He's impossible to pick up there because he's coming from behind them, so they can't see him arriving. Rio Ferdinand shows his ability and vision by seeing the movement and getting the ball into a good position. Unfortunately, Wayne couldn't make the pass there.
A lot of other World Cup qualifiers being played tonight, of course, across Europe. This is the last night, really, of this long competition to determine who does go to Germany, but it's not in the case of those who are in the playoffs, which doesn't concern now Poland or England. Those two teams are automatically through, but there will be some playoffs in November, and the draw will be made on Friday. Republic of Ireland hoping to get there by beating Switzerland tonight. This is Lampard. Ferdinand. Rasiak moving it on. And here he is again. Poland getting more players forward in this attack. Kosowski was there. This is Bąk. To Żurawski. Żewłakow. Free kick. It was Kosowski, the Southampton man, who was fouled. And England here have got to pull players back for the first time. Shaun Wright-Phillips hobbling a bit, I think.
He just got caught in a tackle. I think he's twisted his ankle slightly. With a bit of luck, he'll settle down and he'll run it off, because I think he could have an important role this evening.
Żurawski of Celtic is going to take the free kick, and he can whip these in, and Rasiak's closing in on Robinson. Scored direct from a corner, I remember, in Belfast at the very beginning of this qualifying competition, Żurawski. Seem to be very free in movement, Wright-Phillips.
No, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll as he's only just happened. I think it'll be one of those things that he does run off over a bit of time. Here we go.
Yes, well, Frank Lampard just testing that out, I think, with that pass. Wright-Phillips curls it in. Here comes Cole on the far side. Baszczyński clears for Poland. Need two balls, do we? Thank you. This is Michael Owen. He's found Cole. Oh, box clearance not very good. Ledley King seized on it. It wasn't a bad effort at all.
It's unfortunate there for Ledley King. He just got underneath it a little bit, leant back when he struck it, but again, he's showing that when he's got the opportunity to get forward, he's happy to hump the edge of the box as well. You just see him sort of creeping into position, loses his man, and really, in seeing that on the replay, he would have liked to have done a little bit better.
The referee's given a corner here that the all the players have walked up the other end of the field, and he changed his mind. Anyway, let's concentrate with this. There's an interesting result coming in just a moment from elsewhere, but we'll just watch and see what England can do with Lampard's corner. John Terry waiting to get hold of this. And the first bit of news of the night is that the European champions, Greece, are out of the World Cup. Turkey have beaten Albania 1-0 away to confirm their place in the playoffs. Ukraine had already won the group, you might know. And Greece beat Georgia, but in vain. And I think that probably puts Turkey out as well. Denmark out as well, who are in that group. They were hoping. That puts Denmark and Greece out, and Turkey are in the playoffs. One of England's old adversaries, of course. Here's Owen. This goes to show some well-known names may not be there, or will not be there. These two countries qualify with a game to spare. Żewłakow. Rasiak. Rooney, oh yes, Wright-Phillips. Rooney wants it back, played inside now, and he's got there. There's a flag, he's offside.
It's again good link-up play down the right-hand side of the pitch. Wayne Rooney just losing his man, his pace at getting from midfield into attack. He just mistimed his run very slightly. I think if Shaun Wright-Phillips passed it a little bit earlier, he may have had the opportunity to stay onside.
What happened to that FIFA directive a couple of years ago about daylight between the defender and the forward? There was no daylight there.
No, it doesn't exist. It's all interpretation, isn't it?
When they stop messing about with the offside rule, we'll find out how it's supposed to be applied. Anyway, it was a good bit of work by England, and Rooney was a shade unlucky. This is Lewandowski. Bąk. And Joe Cole. To Carragher. It's Lampard's pass. And it was Żewłakow who got there just ahead of Shaun Wright-Phillips. Given away by Young. This is Rasiak. Number 7 there was Sobolewski, brought down by Lampard. It's looking for Rasiak now. And Smolarek had darted into the box. Polish fans in the right-hand corner appealing for a penalty, but there was no chance of that. And here's Rooney, with Owen going to his left. Early ball, Owen against Jop. And Jop, according to the referee, did not foul him. I think it's going to be a corner. And Milton Nielsen hasn't made himself clear on a couple of signals, but I think this is a corner kick, not a free kick, that he's awarded here. Anyway, Lampard will take it, and again we've got the 2 centre-backs forward. Ledley King's there as well, and goalkeeper Boruc, who's got quite a good reputation, on loan at Celtic at the moment. It was said that Arsenal might have shown some interest in him. Legia Warsaw is his home club. Rasiak there, Kosowski can't keep it in. Cole has got Carragher to his left, Rooney close to him. Owen's darting away from him now into space. This is Wright-Phillips. Plays it back into Cole. There's the header off. Frank Lampard. Good arrival and good delivery.
That's excellent play by England, building up through midfield, breaking quickly, getting the ball wide to Shaun Wright-Phillips, who then cuts it across, and that's where we like to see Frank Lampard, with a good goal-scoring opportunity. And I think Frank, the way he scores, he'd be a little bit disappointed he didn't get a bit more contact on that, and maybe it was slightly behind him.
This is Ferdinand for England. Owen was waiting to make a run there, but Young took the safer option. Lampard. Wright-Phillips. Plenty forward for England here. Oh, and he's trying to get Luke Young in round the back, and he has. And it's run to Owen. What a scramble this is. Young. Well, England are convinced that should be a corner, and Mr. Nielsen says goal kick.
I have to agree with Luke Young there. I think that was a corner. But again, it's good to see the way England are playing. They're linking up together nicely down the pitch. Good bit of skill by Luke Young. The ball just gets stuck in between. There's a suggestion of a handball there, and I think, if anything, a corner.
Well, England got neither. playing 25 minutes here at Old Trafford in this last match in the group for these two nations. Forward by Bąk. Wright-Phillips. Given away by Rooney to Żurawski. This is Kosowski, who in turn is dispossessed by Young. That's a foul by Jop on Owen.
England have to be a little bit careful when they're getting the ball in midfield. They're getting it in wide areas and tight areas, and actually then playing a square pass that if it gets cut out, the likes of Lewandowski and Sobolewski, if they get on the ball, they can break quickly, and then that's when the Poles are going to be very dangerous.
So it's a free kick, which Lampard pushes to Terry and gets back. It's a good turn by Owen. Baszczyński got back to make a challenge. England have more or less confirmed their programme between now and the World Cup. Argentina away in Geneva. Interesting test for Sven's men in November. And then the next game looks like being on March the 1st, which will be a home friendly against opposition to be determined when we know who is and who is not through to the finals of the World Cup. And then there'll be two build-up games in May prior to England leaving for Germany. If the new Wembley is ready, I'm led to believe they'll be played there. This is King.
This sort of steady build-up is today is useful because it's still progressive. Players like John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, when they get the ball, they look to go forward. And what England are trying to do is just draw the Poles out, which allows other players to get in spaces on the pitch where they can't be marked. And it just allows us then to create an opportunity.
That's what Lampard's trying to do here. He's picked out Carragher. Cole is further down that flank. Rooney and Owen are waiting in the centre. Headed away initially by Jop. Won back by King. Rooney. Good ball, Lampard. He's picked his way through, Frank Lampard. Not quite there yet for England. It's been close a couple of times. That's Young. Owen. Rooney, oh, what a good turn by Rooney. Oh, what a spectacular goal that would have been.
That's the Wayne Rooney factor, isn't it? He's one of the only players of his generation, I think, that can do this. A turn and then powering away from the next man. And what a great strike. He's just got underneath it, but I think that's beaten the goalkeeper. If it's on target, it's a goal. What a wonderful turn. The balance and the power to get away from not one but two men. And then he opens himself up for an opportunity.
That first little trick was a little reminiscent maybe of Johan Cruyff in his prompt, wasn't it? Dragging it back like that round the defender. Here's Rooney again. Wright-Phillips. It was a promising run until he hit the last defender.
Well played, Ledley King. I've been impressed with him so far. He's playing in a position that has a lot of responsibility, and a lot of his work goes unnoticed. When England go forward, he works on the deepest pole in terms of he gets in the position to mark him, and his opportunity actually came from when he was marking someone that was on the edge of the Polish box, and he's just picking things up, picking pieces up and linking the team together, which is excellent. Big responsibility for him.
England are well on top here, that must be said. Here's King again. And Cole gets chopped down by Baszczyński, and he's not going to keep his card in his pocket all night. Kim Milton Nielsen, if tackles go in like that, he had a word of admonition for the number 4. Ferdinand. Oh, and Rooney finds Ferdinand coming forward again. A couple of misplaced passes, and that was Cole.
That's another excellent chance for England there. Again, Wayne Rooney causing all sorts of problems. He's got Bąk, dragged him out of the place, out of the central defence, allowed Joe Cole a bit of space, and again, he's really unfortunate for that just to creep over the bar.
Well, there's plenty of good shooting practice here.
The Poles must be wondering what they can do to counteract England's movement at the moment, because it's been excellent.
Well, Poland haven't really been in the game, have they, up to now? This is Lampard. But Rasiak almost got a foot in. Possession, well, 2/3 of it England's. Wright-Phillips, Rooney. Free kick to Poland.
He seems to have run off that ankle injury he had. I think it was just a matter of time, and he's adding a balance to the team when we go forward. He's getting out wide, and he's not frightened to run at people, but equally he's clever enough to take a touch. If he doesn't need to go past someone, whip a ball in, and that's vital sort of food for the forwards.
This is Żurawski, picked out by Rasiak. Little movement building up here for the Poles. Baszczyński comes forward from right back. Kosowski's now gone across to the other side, where he's up against Carragher. Came into Sobolewski. Frank Lampard sorted that out for England. He's found Wright-Phillips. He's having a real go here. Young. Rooney, so aware. Young again, Owen in the centre. Here's Owen. Was tightly marked there, and the ball didn't come through. Poland now have a chance with Żurawski to get something going. Header out was by Ferdinand. This is Rooney, and so it is again. He's found Wright-Phillips. Still Shaun Wright-Phillips pulls it back, tried to find Rooney.
Poland deserves some credit there. They defended well. First of all, Żewłakow, he tried really hard, got a tackle in on Shaun Wright-Phillips, but fortunately for Shaun, the ball came back to him. And then Lewandowski made a perfectly timed interception to stop Wayne Rooney having an opportunity just inside the box.
Young again, and England force a corner down here. Lampard's taken over the set-piece responsibility in Beckham's absence tonight, as indeed he did from the penalty spot when he was there on Saturday. Rio Ferdinand's coming in on this, and it just drops away. just got 1 goal to his credit for England. It was something of an assist by the Danish goalkeeper in the 2002 World Cup, but there won't be any Danish goalkeepers in next year. There will be a referee though, because Milton Nielsen is, I would have thought, pretty certain to be selected. He's just attending to an injury back there to the Polish number 6, Jacek Bąk.
I think that's a captain's role he's doing. I think he's just buying his team a little bit of time to regroup, actually, because they've not had a look in so far, and that's very positive signs for England.
England and Poland have seen an awful lot of each other in these qualifying groups. In fact, the last 14 meetings between these two nations have all been competitive ones. You almost think that they'll get drawn together again in the Euro 2008 qualifiers, which will be drawn in January. Kosowski. Rasiak. King trying to shake him off with the help of Ferdinand, who slipped. And the man who came in there was Sobolewski.
What a tackle by John Terry that was. He must have been 70-30 against him. The whistle had gone, but he still made the tackle.
Wright-Phillips. Bit of movement here from Lampard. Żurawski. Got tugged back a bit. I think he's pulled up after a challenge by King, and Owen on the far side for England. If he can get past Jop. Rooney's gone short. Lampard's in the box. Rooney to Cole. And now Young, no. The number 9 for Poland, the Celtic player, Maciej Żurawski, who was a bit of a doubt for this game, and I think, Graham, it might be a hamstring, is it?
Yeah, it was similar to what we saw Sol Campbell do at the weekend, where they're putting their body under a little bit of strain. He's really powering forward, and then all of a sudden he pulls up, and you can see him grab the back of his leg, and that's painful when that happens. The muscle just goes into complete spasm, and that's the end of his game, certainly.
So the man who scored when Poland lost 2-1 to England in their own country last year, if he was to go off, I would have thought Tomasz Frankowski, the number 17, might be the obvious replacement. He's a small striker with 6 goals in the qualifiers to Żurawski's 7, so it would be a straight swap if Pavel Janas decided to do that. He's coming off very slowly anyway.
If you pull your hamstring like that, you've got no chance. That's, there's no denying that's the end of his game. He's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, I would think.
Won't please Gordon Strachan, what is his club manager? Anyway, he's off, and it is going to be Frankowski. There's 31, 9 goals in 16 internationals, including a hat-trick against Azerbaijan, the number 17. So it is a hamstring injury, and that's the last we'll see of Żurawski.
Did you not believe me?
I do always believe you. Oh, good. Especially when you're getting these pronunciations so accurate.
What I don't know about injuries, I tell you.
This is Wright-Phillips to Young. Żewłakow giving the substitute his first touch. Only 5 minutes left in, or just over 6 minutes perhaps in the first half, plus a bit of injury time. No score here, but England have made the play tonight and created the chances. This is Carragher. Now it's Lewandowski. Jop. Intercepted by King.
That's what he's there for. That's well read by Ledley King, and again breaks up a Polish chance of getting forward. And that protects his back four and allows them to squeeze up a little bit, and that's compacting the pitch, and I think that's one of the reasons why England are regaining possession so quickly in such good areas.
This is Rasiak. Frankowski. Kosowski to his left. That's a foul by Shaun Wright-Phillips. Lewandowski. So it's little and large up there now for Poland, with Frankowski playing off Rasiak, who's got his arm up there for the delivery. Good header. Ferdinand backpedaling there to meet the challenge. This is Cole. He hasn't picked out Rooney. And Rasiak on the ball now for Poland. Oh, another good tackle by Ledley King. But his pass goes astray. That was Jop.
There's a few little things that England, if they could just iron out a few mistakes. Joe Cole made a dangerous pass inside on the edge of his own box that was cut out. Ledley King did excellently and then just managed to miss pass to Michael Owen. I think if just ironing out those couple of little things gives everybody around them so much more confidence. And that's, I think, if they can iron out those mistakes, then that gives them a real sort of credible chance of being in this squad and being in this team right through to the World Cup finals.
We could do with a goal really now, couldn't we? After some pretty good approach play.
Yeah, we could, but I think the difference between Saturday and today is remarkable, and it shows that they can come off the pitch, even if it is 0-0, with a lot of satisfaction in the way they're playing.
This is Rooney to Cole. Good ball to Wright-Phillips. Young is in support just inside. The others moving into the box now as Wright-Phillips tries to go around Żewłakow and forces the corner.
Again, that's good defending by Żewłakow, because Shaun Wright-Phillips there, when he gets you close, he's very quick off the mark and is able just to get a yard, and then he's behind you. But Żewłakow stuck to his job and denied Shaun Wright-Phillips the opportunity.
England are leading 6-0 on corners. In went John Terry, and that shot by Cole has crept through, and England are in the lead. And did Michael Owen get a touch? I think he did. Here it comes again, and the corner here comes right out to Joe Cole. There's the shot, and Owen, yes, it's Michael Owen's goal, and he equals Gary Lineker's record of 22 goals in World Cup and European Championship matches for England. A deft flick makes it England 1, Poland 0.
Great reflex by Michael Owen. That's a typical Michael Owen and centre-forward's goal. I'm sure Gary Lineker scored a lot of those. Poaching inside the 6-yard box, and a clever flick beats the goalkeeper and goes through the legs of the defender on the line.
So England in front deservedly after 43 minutes, and that makes it 33 international goals in total, including friendlies, of course, for Michael Owen, who tonight is winning his 74th cap. He's still only 25. And the all-time record is within his reach. This is Frankowski. Baszczyński.
Joe Cole deserves a lot of credit for the goal as well. It was a fantastic strike on the half volley. He nearly took the referee out. He's turned his back as he struck it, but he's done his job there. He's a great strike there, and that's excellent reflexes. Not only Michael Owen there, Wayne Rooney's behind him as well if Michael was to miss it.
Actually, Cole's shot wasn't going in, was it? So it wasn't like the one here at last season when Lampard claimed a goal, was credited with a goal which Owen got the very last touch for, but this one clearly is a Michael Owen delivery from very close in, and he's back among the goals again then. Rooney here. Joe Cole then makes the contribution. He's on the ball now.
The referee is indicating a minimum of 1 minute of added time.
1 minute only in stoppage time here at the end of the first half. This is Rasiak for Poland, who've had to make one substitution. And here's the man who... It's Lewandowski now, and the man who came on, Frankowski, was running on ahead. This is Kosowski, and he's onside, and it's a challenge by Terry. Kosowski again, and Frankowski! Yes, he's equalised, the substitute. Little Tomasz Frankowski has scored for Poland, and it's 1-1 coming up to half-time. Paweł Janas's team back in the game within a couple of minutes.
Well, it shows the quality of the Poles when they go forward. A little bit of slack clearing by England. Got ourselves into difficult positions. Players out of position. John Terry ends up going out into the left-back position. Makes the first block. Can't get to the second one. Everyone's drawn over, and that leaves Frankowski with a chance, and it's well taken.
Well, we did mention his scoring record, didn't we? That's his 7th in the qualifiers alone, and it's his 10th for Poland in 16 games. So he came on to good effect, and it's right on half-time as well. The crowd were in buoyant mood, and suddenly it's the 6,000 Poles you can hear. And Michael Owen's goal, or the lead it gave England, only lasted a couple of minutes. Eriksson off in the rain to do his team talk. And after dominating the first half and finally taking the lead through Owen on 43 minutes, England then concede in stoppage time to Frankowski, who'd come on as a substitute. So at half-time at Old Trafford, it's England 1, Poland 1.
Yeah, late equaliser from Poland, but much better football, much better pressing. All in all,
facet of the game, right from the word go, they went after the Poles, higher up the pitch. You know, when you look at the pressing, the movement, even the balance of the side, Ledley King has done exceptionally well in the holding position, and it's just much better. And you could see the confidence coming back to the players. They don't deserve to be, you know, having a draw at half time. They deserve to be 2 or 3 in front. They played that well.
Everything we asked for, really.
I think the one thing that was missing on Saturday was energy, but tonight in the first 45 minutes it was full of energy. Everyone had a spring in their step. The closing down was fantastic. The pressing was further up the pitch. I don't think they could have many complaints. Obviously, put a bit of a downer on in the last minute there with the goal, but I thought everything was 10 times better than it was on Saturday.
But as you said before the game, it's not really about the result, it's about the performance and about giving hope to everyone at home that England can compete.
They basically played the whole half in the Poles half, both with and without the ball. When they had the ball, they passed it well, created space. When they didn't have the ball, they still closed down in the opposition half. And it was a team effort. When you're closing down like that, you know, Gary, maybe not you, but Alan. When you're closing down like that, you spark off each other, and it's a team effort.
Spot on, very much so. When you go, the first man goes and doesn't get it, the second man, eventually you'll get it. You know, and that's what happened. Time with that number in that first half, and of course, what happens then is the confidence just comes right back to the players. What they did in the first half was they looked a good team.
And there's no question England deserved the goal when it came along, and a real poacher's effort from Michael.
Well, that's what he's good at, isn't he? Just being in the right place at the right time. Ironically, didn't do a great deal in the first half, but once again, when you need him to be there, he's there, and you give him chances and he'll score goals. And I'm not so sure he knew a great deal about it, but that's exactly what they deserve, because as we said, I think every single one of them has played very, very well, and they would have been very unlucky not to have scored a goal in that first half.
Is that where you stand? 6-yard line just in front of the goalkeeper?
Just off the keeper.
Sort of 12, 14 a season?
Slight exaggeration.
That's the position he's in, and when it comes in, he just needs any sort of touch whatsoever, and it ends up in the back of the net.
And I've got him in the sweep.
I thought you might mention that. The Poles scored. Slight question mark over the positioning maybe of the English defenders.
Yeah, got a little bit caught out. Firstly, at left back position, and I think Luke Young, when he looks back at that, just gets sucked in at the far post when the ball eventually comes in. John Terry blocks a great block. When it comes back in, Luke just gets attracted to the ball.
I think his initial position where he's 4 or 5 yards behind the 2 centre backs, and as a full back, you cannot allow the opposition to be level with you. You've got to be level with your centre backs. Just watch him here. Look where he is. Yeah, he gets caught well in behind Ferdinand and Terry. Plays him onside.
But here, when he gets his position here, he just gets sucked to the ball. The lad does a little run on him and just peels off.
That's the only attack they've had really in 45 minutes. To be fair, and I think England have been more than comfortable.
We've talked about it in a number of internationals. We talked about it before the start of this game. Everything depends on England playing higher up the pitch, pressing game. Bundles of examples today.
This just didn't happen in the last 3 matches. As I say, Shaun Wright-Phillips goes to take the first one. Then Joe Cole gets to take the second one, and then you win it. It's just as simple as that. And then Lampard wins the next one.
And you win it in dangerous areas.
Exactly. And like you say, right from the word go, it happened.
Do you know what else has happened as well? The crowds are behind them. The crowd's got the...
Well, this helps the crowd get behind them, doesn't it? If they see a bit of enthusiasm.
Well, after the first minute, you could see everyone was at it. There was pace about everyone's game, and they were closing down. And look at Shaun Wright-Phillips here. On Saturday, numerous occasions we've seen them rolling the ball across the back. They're not allowed to do it there. And in the end, they have to kick it long. It goes out for a throw-in. And once the crowd see that gets them up for it, and there's a great atmosphere in the stadium.
But also it makes it easier for yourself in the long run, you know, because everybody's closing, the first man goes, and then everybody behind you just seems to press up a bit further, and you make chances and you get the goals.
It just shows you if you're critical enough, eventually they take notice in the England dressing room.
I don't think they take any notice of us.
Definitely.
You're deluding yourself.
Definitely not. No, it's good to see Wayne Rooney back, and you eulogising about him before the game. He hasn't let you down.
Oh, he's been sensational. I really, some of the things that he does with the football, and Alan said it before the game. He's a master at just finding.
Watch his left hand there. This is 30 seconds into the match. Not only is he wanting it, he's demanding where Ferdinand should put it.
He's just fantastic at finding spaces. There's not another England player that is able to get the ball and turn as many times as he does. And you can't teach that to players. You really can't. And he just knows where to be. And he's an expert at just dropping off people. There you go. There's another example. And the defenders can't get within 5 or 10 yards of him.
He brings so many people into the game, doesn't he? Just by a little 2 yards, he pulls away and then he brings other people in.
If there's one slight criticism, his final ball has been a tad disappointing, but some of these other players is just.
You're such a hard man.
Fantastic.
That wasn't that good either.
There's one turn that we're going to see in a minute. It's just unbelievably good.
There you go, demanding the ball again.
Oh, it's just ease. It's total ease and control and possession.
If people just watch him, when he comes out in the second half, how many times he gets the ball into the feet and turns with his first touch?
This is the one.
I mean, that is.
Jeez, how good is that?
It's fantastic. Terrible shot, mind.
Yeah.
Thought he should have put that in with his standards. Top draw, he really is. Fantastic.
Same one again.
He inspires other players, doesn't he, around him?
He's so aware of what's run about him.
And what I like about him, he's got a very calm temperament, as we see here.
He's a changed man or a changed boy.
A lot can happen in a week.
The wild streak is gone, but what a player. He never ever lets you down.
Okay, well, we'll pause for a second. Now, not every group is as straightforward as this one. All sorts of dramatic things are going on across Europe. Ray Stubbs has got it all covered.
Thanks, Gary. We'll try. The full details of the night's game in Dublin on the way. As things stand, the Republic of Ireland are out of the World Cup. Latest scores of the matches involving the other home nations. Northern Ireland and Wales both in action this evening. And it's Austria 1, Northern Ireland 0. England 1, Poland 1, as we know. Wales 1, Azerbaijan 0. Aufhauser for Austria. Wales off the bottom of the group. Ryan Giggs has given them the lead this evening. And in Group 5, Belarus 0, Norway 0, Italy 0, Moldova 0. Scotland 2 up away in Slovenia. Goal scorers Darren Fletcher and James McFadden. As things stand at the moment, Scotland will finish third in the group. Italy, group winners, Norway have the playoff place. Full details now on the game in Dublin. Republic of Ireland kicked off knowing they had to beat Switzerland to secure a playoff place. Steve Wilson reporting.
It's 0-0 at half-time. Plenty of endeavour from Ireland in this first half, but not the goal they need. And in truth, not a lot of chances either. The best for Brian Kerr's side came after only 90 seconds when Ian Hart was unmarked, but headed Andy Reid's corner wide. But the best chance of the game fell to Switzerland, and the head of Alexander Frey after half an hour. He was 6 yards out and onside, but put his header from a Cabanas cross wide of Shay Given's post. 0-0 at the break, but remember, an Irish win would guarantee them a World Cup playoff place.
Things going well for France. In Paris, France against Cyprus, John Roeder.
France need a high-scoring win here to make sure they top Group 4, and so far they're on course to do exactly that. Despite the early loss of Vieira through injury, France have dominated this match and have scored 3 good goals. It could and really should be more. Zinedine Zidane, magnificent in midfield, opened the scoring, a low shot from Sagnol's cross. Zidane then set up Sylvain Wiltord moments later for number 2, and just before the break, Vikash Dorasu made it 3-0, and Cissé has also missed 4 excellent opportunities.
So let's take a look at the table as things stand. Republic of Ireland need to get a result this evening, but as we can see, France top the group. Switzerland have the playoff place. Republic of Ireland at the moment in 4th place. Around the other groups. These groups are settled. Let's take a look at Group 1. Holland safely win the group. The Czech Republic confirmed in the playoffs after beating Finland tonight. With Holland having safely won the group, Czech Republic booked a guaranteed place in the playoffs with their 3-0 victory over Finland. However, their wafer-thin chance of gaining an automatic qualifying place evaporated with news of Sweden's 3-1 victory over Iceland in Group 8. Let's take a look at Group 2. This is all settled. European champions Greece out of the World Cup. Turkey have beaten Albania to claim the single playoff place behind group winners Ukraine. European champions Greece failed in their bid to make it to the World Cup finals. Their 1-0 victory over Georgia only good enough to see them finish 4th in Group 2. Ukraine already qualified as group winners. Group 8, Croatia had already qualified before tonight. They're confirmed as group winners after drawing 0-0 in Hungary. Good news for Sweden too, also through as one of the 2 best runners-up after beating Iceland 3-1. Some groups are still underway, so we don't know what the situation is as far as these games are concerned. But let's take a look in Group 3. Luxembourg 0, Estonia 1. Portugal have won the group 2-0 up at home to Latvia. Slovakia 0, Russia 0 so far. As it stands, let's take a look at the table there. Portugal win the group, Slovakia get the playoff place. And Group 7 now, situation in Group 7 so far this evening. Lithuania 1, Belgium 1, San Marino 0, Spain 4. Spain need goals tonight as well. And the big game in the Balkans, Serbia-Montenegro 1, Bosnia-Herzegovina 0. Look at the table there as well, see what's going to happen as far as the place in Germany next year is concerned. Serbia-Montenegro get the automatic place. Spain in the playoffs. They needed goals, but of course this could change as the second half can change things around. So European champions Greece failed to qualify for next year's World Cup finals. We'll round up the full list of who else won't, who will, who might be playing in Germany next summer at the end of the England-Poland match. Gary, back to you.
Thanks very much, Ray. A quick reminder here at Old Trafford, you've just come in, it's England 1, Poland 1. More importantly, England are playing well, aren't they?
Very good, very impressive, and you must applaud the manager. We've been critical of the manager and his tactics the last 3 matches. It's him that's changed it, so. And a lot of people wouldn't have played Ledley King in the holding role either, and I think the balance has been pretty good. It's given Frank Lampard that opportunity to get forward and play basically the way he plays at Stamford Bridge as well, which has been encouraging.
Lou, have you enjoyed Wright-Phillips' performance? He's
very much
plenty
so.
of energy.
Yeah, we said before the game his enthusiasm will rub off on other players. He's got lots of the ball like he did against Northern Ireland, but I think the difference tonight, he's had an end product tonight. He got loads of ball from Beckham against Northern Ireland, and tonight he's had it from Rooney and Lampard, but his end product has been a lot better. And
there's been 3 or 4 occasions where he's been hugging the touchline, and in off a great out for Frank Lampard or Wayne Rooney. The number of times they've found him with long balls, and his touch has been excellent, and he's worked very hard up and down that line.
Well, that's the thing, his work rate is phenomenal. He gets up and down that line like you'll never believe.
Does he give something to England that Beckham doesn't?
Any defender will tell you they hate playing against out-and-out pace. It's an option, it's an alternative. This kid has got out-and-out pace.
They doubled up on him there, didn't they? And he just played it nice, simple ball, because they don't know what to do with him, get tight or drop off. He's been excellent tonight.
OK, well, behind us, both teams have wandered out, back onto the Old Trafford pitch. Let's rejoin Graham Lasseau and John Motson.
Well, there's going to be a change, a second change by Poland. Number 18, Jacek Krzynówek from Bayer Leverkusen, one of their more experienced players, has come on to win his 53rd cap. And he's going to take the place of the man who wore number 8 in the first half, Smolarek. So we've got 2 Polish substitutes in action now. Here he is. He's got a big reputation, Krzynówek, a regular in the Bundesliga, and they'll be hoping that he can do what the first substitute did, Frankowski, and make an immediate contribution. Here's Shaun Wright-Phillips for England. Taking on the fullback. Oh, and it just evaded Michael Owen. Here's Joe Cole. Owen again. Oh, went behind Rooney as well, the first cross. And in fact, they haven't got the sub on. He's only just got permission to... He had to go back off to do the formalities, and finally, they're up to 11.
That's bizarre. I can't believe that the ref didn't allow him to come on before he kicked off. Fortunately, Shaun Wright-Phillips was alert, and great run, and a wonderful ball into the box.
Could have been 2-1 England there. This is Lampard. And now Young.
Substituting for Poland, replacing number 8, Ebi Smolarek, as number 18, Jacek Krzynówek.
This is Terry. Krzynówek's gone to play on the left of midfield, Graham, and Kosowski, who we did say can play on either flank, has come over to the right.
Yeah, Kosowski's been moving around the pitch in the first half, so it's no surprise to see him actually permanently based on the right-hand side this half.
So, one Southampton left-sided player talking about another there. Anyway, here we go. It's England with Lampard. England have not scored more than once in their last 4 games before tonight, so they could put an end to that little run if they get another one here. This is King to Rooney. Lampard. Rasiak. Frankowski. Krzynówek. Lewandowski moving forward, and Żewłakow on the far side. Bąk. Frankowski just laying it back, and England having to pull shirts back here now at the moment. This team will have to go some way, Poland, to emulate their predecessors who finished 3rd in 2 World Cups. This is Rooney for England. Lampard goes to his right, Owen to his left. Can he release Lampard? Oh, well, Bąk, the captain. Rooney appeals for hands. Referee says no. And at the other end, it's Rasiak starting Poland on their way.
There's again excellent play by Wayne Rooney, and the ball did actually hit Bąk on the hand as he went to ground, but unfortunately for Frank Lampard, the ball never continued to into his path. Otherwise, he had a great opportunity.
2 of those he played in the 82 World Cup, but 2 of the heroes of 73 at Wembley, Tomaszewski and Damaski, are with the Polish media group over here. Here comes Kosowski on this side. For those of you that probably wouldn't remember it, Tomaszewski was the goalkeeper who stopped everything at Wembley that night. Memorably described as a clown by the late Brian Clough, but he was the reason England didn't go through. And Damaski was the lad who sent a shot under Peter Shilton's body, which England managed to equalise with an Alan Clark penalty, but it wasn't enough. England had to win to go through, and Poland, with that draw, advanced to Germany. That was the beginning of the end of the Sir Alf Ramsey reign, really. A little bit of history. Far too young to remember that, Wayne Rooney, and he's been fouled there. Jerry and Ferdinand are going up on the far side. And Frank Lampard chipping it in. Just wonder here, Graham, whether Ledley King's doing enough in this game to suggest he could be an option in that position, where even when everybody is available.
Well, certainly there's an argument for balance in your team, and I think both him and Shaun Wright-Phillips have shown great balance.
Difficult cross to deal with that. Rasiak was underneath it. It's come out to Kosowski, and Carragher trying to force him. It's come back to Joe Cole, and there's a lovely touch by Rooney to Lampard, and he's got Shaun Wright-Phillips outside him. 4 up in this attack by England. It's looking promising. It's Rooney again. Just couldn't squirt that through to Michael Owen.
Yeah, I think the two of them, they've shown that they can bring balance to the side, and Wayne Rooney obviously brings that other dimension. So, you know, the England performance, I think, is based on that sort of understanding between the different areas of the team.
Well, the presence of Rooney has made a terrific difference. There's no doubt about that. This is Bąk, but aimless.
I think Ashley Cole's missed as well. I think we miss him driving down that left-hand side of the pitch. He takes people with him or creates space for himself. And for obvious reasons, Jaime Carragher isn't as comfortable doing that coming from left back.
We've also got Gary Neville to come back at right back. Don't forget, there are quite a few of the regulars not available in this team. Here's King. This is Ferdinand. Wright-Phillips. That's a good run by Shaun Wright-Phillips. There's a deflection on the cross. It's going to be a corner on the far side to England.
There's an example there of Shaun Wright-Phillips picking the ball up in a fairly innocuous position in the middle midfield, but then with his pace driving at Poland and creating an opportunity and winning a corner.
Lampard will be taking the corner. This is Ferdinand. Oh, and he was right in front of goal, Wayne Rooney. But he couldn't keep it down.
I think it was almost too easy from there. I think he was expecting to probably get a bit of a kick there. Ball gets floated in. Rio Ferdinand and John Terry go up for it, and it's a snapshot really, leaning back a little bit and obviously just clearing the crossbar.
Lewandowski for Poland. This is Kosowski. He made the Polish equaliser from a position starting there just before half-time, but doesn't get round the back this time. Now, that looks to me as if it might be Mr. Tomaszewski himself. He'll remember, no doubt, every bit of that match back in 1973. Working for Polish television tonight. This is Owen, and now it's Cole. Rasiak, fouled by Terry. Keep an eye on Frankowski. That's the Polish army you can hear chanting as Rasiak goes forward. He pushed John Terry there. Well, you can if you get a ticket, is the answer to that. Good for him.
Shame his mum's not watching.
This is Lampard. Lampard again. Offside has been given against Shaun Wright-Phillips by the assistant on the far side, who is Torben Jensen.
It's another example of Shaun Wright-Phillips. He's made 2 or 3 runs there for Frank Lampard. By the time he's made the 3rd one, he's in an offside position. Good decision by the linesman.
Would this be the sort of game, I know it may depend on the score at the time, but would you think Sven-Göran Eriksson might give Defoe or Bent of Charlton a bit of a run here?
I suppose there's a chance to do that, but whilst they're playing as well as they are and looking so comfortable working with each other, there's more of an argument to keep it as is, I would think.
Yes, you're probably right. This is Owen to Wright-Phillips. Lampard. In it goes to Rooney. That was very good, and Owen just couldn't quite get there in time.
As long as the team continues to play this well, John, I think, you know, it builds confidence, and there was a distinct lack of that on Saturday.
Indeed, this is Frankowski, who equalised just before half-time for Poland. And he's floating that through for Kosowski, but there's too much pace on the ball. Wright-Phillips being encouraged to run at the defenders here. And he's done that well. Has he found Rooney? Not quite, but he's there again, Wright-Phillips. Frankowski. There's a Polish player down here.
Gentlemanly conduct by Frank Lampard there, who's in a great position to start an attack. Saw the Polish player down and you know, professionally put the ball out for him to receive treatment.
It's Sobolewski who's hurt, having already made 2 substitutions. Jenas. As if they'll be down to 10 for a little while anyway. Of course, if he did want to accommodate a defensive midfield player like King, Eriksson would have to change the system again and perhaps go back to the diamond, which was the way they were playing with Butt and Scholes, wasn't it, in the original side?
Yeah, that's right, and it would mean some tough decisions, because you've got Steven Gerrard, obviously, who's injured. David Beckham's out at the moment, so you know, it's a tough decision. It would be a tough decision, but equally, these guys that are on the pitch now have got the opportunity to give the manager that dilemma, cause that problem for him.
The Polish player still trying to get back on the pitch. This is Rooney. They're down to 10 for the moment. It's Carragher. He is on now again, number 7, Sobolewski. In fact, he gets the ball straight away. If the score stays like this, of course, Poland win the group. England do need to get the win here to overtake them, having started the evening 2 points behind. There isn't really another wide man among England's substitutes, is there? Because, of course, Richardson had to be withdrawn from the squad today. So, bit of defensive daredevil there from number 18, Krzynówek. Free kick given against Sobolewski, and the pace of the game just dropping a little bit on the hour mark. This is Shaun Wright-Phillips, seen plenty of the ball. Young, who's creating a Charlton athletic record tonight with his 6th England cap. Previous best from Charlton was Chris Powell with 5. King. Rooney. Joe Cole. Turned back a little bit there, was he? Yes. By Baszczyński, the number 4, who gets a yellow card.
Yeah, that's well spotted by the referee. I must admit, Joe Cole had a little bit of Baszczyński's shirt as well, but inevitably they were both at it, and Joe Cole got fouled. So I think that it was a little bit harsh giving the yellow card out, but it's in a dangerous position for England here. You can see they've both got hold of each other, they're both tussling away. And it's a little bit certainly unfortunate to get the yellow card in that incident, but a dangerous position for England.
Rooney will take the free kick for England. Low into the near post. Referee's just told the Polish number 5 to take his shirt in.
Haven't seen that for a long time.
Kosowski.
That's good, a bit of football etiquette, I like that.
There was a time actually when they tried to enforce that a bit more often, wasn't there? This is Wright-Phillips.
Both teams now are just sort of trying to suss each other out. I think there's going to be, you know, obviously a bit more of a push as the game goes on. But Poland have become a little bit more defensive with their 2 midfield players, just dropping off, trying to sort of deny Wayne Rooney the space that he had in the first half. And really, Shaun Wright-Phillips has been the only outlet. But in all honesty, he's getting marked by 2 players as well. So England having just to pass the ball slowly and end up going back to Robinson if the Polish strike force sort of close them down.
Well, it's Szymanek in possession just for the moment for Poland. Here's Wright-Phillips. Lampard to Rooney. Owen ahead, Cole to the left, Rooney going. And Cole! Offside, won't count.
That was good movement. It was a Polish mistake that left Wayne Rooney the space, and the good thing was that as soon as we won the ball, somebody passed it to him. Frank Lampard passed it to him, and then he just holds on to it a little bit too long, and in fact Michael Owen and Joe Cole are both offside.
Cole by some way, actually. Never mind, nice to see the ball in the back of the net.
Certainly.
Headed by John Terry. The score in Dublin halfway through the second half is still 0-0. Here's Young for England. More of that in a moment. Wright-Phillips. If it stays like that at Lansdowne Road, then Switzerland will go into the playoffs because France are beating Cyprus and would win the group, and it would be good night for the Republic of Ireland. They do need to score. Here's Rasiak. In the meantime here, the news from the touchline is that Peter Crouch is being prepared. Here's Rooney. Cole. Bent in towards Michael Owen. Good save by Boruc. Denying Owen his second of the night. Wright-Phillips to Young. This is Ferdinand. Lampard. Would one like to see Ferdinand do that a bit more often? Here's Carragher.
the good thing about Rio Ferdinand driving forward in those positions, he's got the confidence that Ledley King, if he goes past him, Ledley King's just as comfortable playing centre-back and filling in for him. That gives him the advantage of being able to release himself into those dangerous positions, and Rio Ferdinand's an excellent player on the ball.
For your attention please, this is a message for Darren Bailey from Marcher. Darren Bailey.
Here's Wright-Phillips picking it up from Young. When England threatened to go back in front there a moment ago, but still 1-1 as things stand. In it goes from Young, up goes Rooney. England throw. Can they keep the Poles pressed in there? It's Cole. Owen coming in now.
That's the second excellent ball in from Joe Cole in the space of a couple of minutes. The first one, he looks up, great in-swinger with his right foot over the centre-back's head, and Michael Owen will feel that he could have done better with that, I think. Good save by Boruc, though.
Yep, it was a chance, there's no doubt about that. This is Lewandowski to Krzynówek, and then back to Lewandowski again. A fairly tame effort there from Sobolewski. So Peter Crouch, who started on Saturday, will now come on as a substitute, and the crowd not too enamoured with the fact that Shaun Wright-Phillips is coming off, it sounds.
Well, I'm all for Peter Crouch coming on, but I think Shaun Wright-Phillips looks like a great outlet for the team at the moment. He's creating a lot of problems down that right-hand side, and he's the only player on the pitch who actually gives us an amount of natural width. Now we've got to look at England maybe going a little bit more direct up to Peter, and players actually working around knockdowns from him.
Getting a few handshakes there. Now Peter Crouch, the obvious target man. I wonder how they intend to play Rooney and Owen around him. Crouch, who's still to score for England and still to score this season.
I think he had a decent game on Saturday, Peter. His link-up play, the few good things that did come through England came through him, and he started most of the good moves. So let's hope he can get on the ball and, like you say, get people around him to sort of link up with him.
There's more responsibility on Young now to get forward down the right-hand side, which he's doing just at this very moment. Appeals for handball against Żewłakow, but not given. Lampard playing it through for Owen, and Owen has he? No, not quite, corner. Of course, Wright-Phillips did get a knock on the ankle in the first half, so I guess that might have had a sort of a precautionary reason for taking him off, I don't know. Anyway, it's a corner which Lampard will take. Terry and Ferdinand are there again. King's in there too. Oh, referee's talking to one of the Polish players.
It's a shame that was a good ball in.
Talking to Jop, the number 2. So the ball has to be returned to Frank Lampard. And Peter Crouch will be an obvious target here now, in the midst of that penalty area. And there he is. And Kosowski trying to make the clearance for Poland. This is Ferdinand. Back again by Carragher. And Owen penalised.
Yeah, the ref's given Michael Owen offside there. He's looking sharper, Michael Owen. He's getting into some good positions, playing off the shoulder of the centre-backs. There again, you can see him coming off the shoulder, but he's actually in an offside position when he heads the ball.
I'm sure that's good news for Alan Shearer in Newcastle if he's getting back to his razor-sharp best.
That's right, Alan needs all the help he can get at his age, John.
Be careful, he might have the last word.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He tends to.
So still 1-1 here at Old Trafford, a situation which, if it carries through, would mean that Poland win the group. It was forward by Ferdinand, but Crouch has got no chance of reaching that one. Baszczyński is the only player to have been yellow carded so far tonight. This is Owen. Rooney. Cole. Now Owen, he's got Crouch in the centre, Lampard is joining him. And there is Frank Lampard, in fact it was Young that got in his way.
Lack of communication there, unfortunately, because Luke Young was in a much better position than Frank, but obviously Frank Lampard didn't know he was there.
Well, this game is still there to be won, and that applies as much to Poland as it does to England if they've got the ambition. Yeah, they were a bit in each other's way there, weren't they? How would you describe the England formation now, Graham? 4-3-1-2 or something?
Something like that, yeah. Obviously, you've got Peter and Michael up front with Wayne Rooney playing off behind them. So that would probably be about it. But it is so fluid with Wayne Rooney in the side. He sometimes works just in front of the midfield, just in front of the strikers, or just behind everybody. So it's difficult to actually name a particular formation because it changes so often. But to be honest, the Poles are pretty fluid in their formation as well. They interchange position, and that causes defenders and midfielders all sorts of problems.
This is Kosowski for Poland, gets it back from Frankowski. Lewandowski. And Young caught out a little bit round the back there, but still got a foot in and helped out, in fact, by Rooney, who came back to challenge Krzynówek. Play on, says the referee. Oh, not now, though. Somebody's in trouble. One of the Polish players. I think it's number 7, Sobolewski. He flashed a yellow card there, Milton Nielsen.
It's frustrating, though, for every player on the pitch. It's frustrating because it's a foul. There's, he's holding his shirt. But then Frank Lampard has the composure to carry on. Let the game flow. Wayne Rooney picked the ball up in a very dangerous position. That's a part of a referee's responsibility.
Well, it didn't help England, did it? But anyway, Sobolewski's gone in the book, and here's Carragher. Cole trying to pick out Young. Oh, can he pull it back here? Owen's in the near post position. And Lampard can't believe it. They give him a goal kick.
That's the most obvious corner I think I've ever seen, John. It's there's no denying that's a corner. Obviously, the referee and his officials are having a mad 5 minutes. I suppose they're only human.
Well, it surely came off Żewłakow, didn't it?
Yeah, it was so obvious. So the only thing I can think is because he sort of hooked it away from Luke Young. Maybe the linesman couldn't see who it came off. It's a strange decision.
Well, it would be a lot more concern if it was a competitive match, wouldn't there? I say competitive match, of course it is in terms of the group, but there's not a World Cup place at stake anymore here. This is Ferdinand. It's King. Crouch to Carragher. Rooney.
There's a lot of spirit in the Polish side as well. I mean, they've had to absorb a heck of a lot of pressure. There's been numerous corners against them. They've been up against it, but they've carried on plugging away, and they still look like they fancy their chances of nicking a second goal.
They won't be easy opponents in the World Cup finals next summer, depending, of course, how the draw works out.
It's quite amazing because Polish football's having a terrible time at the moment as well. So I think the national team, I think they feel that they've got not only the nation's sort of hopes on their shoulders, but sort of the domestic game as well.
So a quarter of an hour to go at Old Trafford in this final night of Group 6 action. Full roundup coming your way with Ray Stubbs after the game. And our interactive service will be available later for anybody who's got a strong opinion. Well, I just wonder what the opinion is down there at the moment.
I think he's got to be satisfied with the performance in terms of the way that we're actually playing and going about our game. But I think all the players and the management as well will be desperate just to get that goal and win this game.
Headed on by Crouch. Here's Carragher to Lampard. Little bit of movement here, it's Owen. Crouch and Rooney making their way into the centre. Here comes Crouch.
Good idea by Michael Owen there. Excellent run from the middle of the pitch in front of the goal to the wide position. Frank Lampard spotted him and he tried to get a bit of air in it for Peter Crouch, and unfortunately the goalkeeper read the situation well.
Quick free kick by Cole to Rooney. This is Owen and they're piling in there now. Owen goes for the far corner. Boruc makes the save. Comes out to Cole. King in support, Young outside him, lots of white shirts in there and a deflection. Is it going to be... Oh, I thought it was going to be an own goal for a minute.
They've changed gears here, England. Let's hope we can capitalise on it.
The momentum is with Eriksen's team here. It's Cole. Trying to slide it through, but on the other hand, Frankowski could catch England a shade light at the back here. This is... No, it won't do because Ledley King has read the danger. Kosowski, Frankowski. And Luke Young having to retreat on the far side. Does the job, finds King. Lampard to Rooney. Crouch trying to get in behind Jop, but he's been penalised.
That's well played by Luke Young. He's had a good game today, and the goalkeeper Boruc has been excellent for Poland. Good reflex save after a deflection.
Yeah, he's only on loan at Celtic from Warsaw, Artur Boruc, and there'll be a few Premiership clubs keeping an eye on him, I think. Lampard with the turn, shaking off Sobolewski, finds Cole, who's playing a more central role these last few minutes, and he's doing it well too.
He's drifted in off the line, Joe Cole, and was unfortunate there not to get a free kick.
This is Kosowski. Rasiak coming in from the far side. Kosowski hangs on and then his shot hits King. Poland are upping their act a little bit now as well. Kosowski picking out Baszczyński here. Well, Jaime Carragher has conceded a free kick right in the corner.
Got the impression Baszczyński was playing for time there. I don't understand that. But unfortunately, Jaime Carragher fell for the trap and committed a fairly sort of innocuous challenge, but a free kick in a dangerous area now.
Before they take it, there's going to be a substitution. Radomski, the number 16, is coming on, a midfield player. And number 7, Sobolewski, is the man to make way. So they've used their 3 now, Poland. But England will be concerned here to keep their concentration, because Koszymanek is waiting to take a free kick in the corner. And Rasiak has been joined in the centre there by the captain, Bąk, who's telling the others where to go at the moment. Oh, and Frankowski's in there again, poaching in the 6-yard box after Jop had headed it back across the goal. Peter Crouch defending for England to Rooney.
It's a brave header by Luke Young. He's put his head there where Frankowski's boot was and did well to put him off.
Here's Owen. Lampard. Will it break for England here? It might for Michael Owen. Oh, he's found Lampard! Oh, it's a great goal for England. It's Frank Lampard again. and England retake the lead. Really good build-up play there. You can see the expression on the players' faces. This was another move where 3 or 4 of them got involved. In fact, there was a little deflection that helped there, and then helped on to Michael Owen. And look at the volley by Lampard.
Turned defence into attack very quickly in there. That's an excellent ball by Michael Owen, and what a finish by Frank Lampard. The ball's almost past him when he hits it. Frank breaks there, a couple of lucky deflections. Good ball by Joe Cole, and then the vision of Michael Owen, an unselfish pass as well. Straight over Bonk's head, and what a finish that is, because that's beyond Frank Lampard and goes into the corner. Great goal.
Up they jump, and Frank Lampard goes into double figures for England. That's his 10th goal in his 37th game. Good output. 2-1 England, but they lost the lead last time, and Koszyminek is trying to do the same again, but if it stays like this for another 10 minutes, England will win the group.
Well, let's hope that England can keep their concentration now, keep their discipline and their positioning, and hang on and win this game.
Frank Lampard, who scored the winner against Austria from the penalty spot on Saturday, strikes at that same end again.
You can see here, washes the ball onto his foot, and that's a great bit of skill there to control that into the top corner.
So it's a free kick now to England, and the crowd are in good heart and good voice. Rooney and Lampard over the ball here. Terry and Ferdinand forward with Crouch. In it goes from Rooney. Here comes Boruc. 5 goals in this qualifying campaign alone, Frank Lampard.
And he's been the cornerstone of that England midfield for a while now, I think, and he's really taken the responsibility. He took it on Saturday with a pressure penalty, and he's got his rewards tonight from his hard-working game and the fact that he's been able to get forward a bit more.
Would you say Joe Cole's had a good second half?
I think everyone has. I think Joe Cole has had a good game, full stop. There looked to be much more confidence and drive about the team today. They seem to have really got into the game early on, started the game well, and developed a pattern and an understanding that we'd seen before the summer, and it's great to see it back, because this is what they're capable of.
Rooney forcing the pace again on that far side. Well, they've packed the grounds wherever England have played since they left Wembley. There's 14 English club grounds been used while England have been on tour, so to speak. First time England have scored 2 in a game since the summer tour to the States when they beat Colombia. And now we're going to see Jermaine Jenas and Michael Owen to be rested for the last few minutes. Will take off the armband. And he's going to give it to a man who some people think is an England captain in the making, John Terry.
He certainly could be an England captain in the making. He's got tremendous leadership skills and leads by example. Very committed. It'd be interesting to see what Jermaine Jenas' contribution can be now. Hopefully he can show what he can do in the final 10 minutes as well.
So 2 Tottenham players in midfield from a club that's crowded with midfield players just at the moment, and England have a free kick again. Of course, another one who might have been in the squad was Michael Carrick had he not been injured. That is aimed at Peter Crouch. And King. And oh, look at that from Rooney. Joe Cole, still in there, and still in there.
Did so well, Wayne Rooney. Joe Cole as well, excellent bit of skill, and the confidence is just oozing out of these creative players now. The only unfortunate thing was the poor finish by Joe. He had a couple of options that maybe he could have taken.
Kosowski for Poland. And keeps his run going here. He's got 3 in the centre. Koszyminek coming in, but England had bodies back. This is Baszczyński. Krzynówek's cross. Oh, it bounced nicely there for Frankowski again, number 17. Oh, it's a bit of a scramble.
Good defending by England, a little bit desperate, but good defending. Rio Ferdinand made a great tackle, and Luke Young backs him up. And again, that's another sign of the sort of confidence that the players have in each other. The ball's bouncing around there. First of all, Rio Ferdinand makes a big tackle, and then Luke Young as well. Unfortunately, the ball falls to Paul Robinson.
On the attack for England here is Jenas, and he's found Rooney, and that's Rooney's shot.
It's all well and good having England getting forward and trying snapshots like this, but it's also important that the midfield, particularly Ledley King, keeps his discipline and concentration, and make sure that we stop Poland breaking forward.
Here's Wayne Rooney. England 2, Poland 1. 4 minutes plus stoppage time to go. 2. Going to be a substitution here now, which will bring on Alan Smith, and he's replacing Joe Cole, who will get a good ovation, but Alan Smith will also get one, of course, because he is a Manchester United player running on here at Old Trafford. Goes into a midfield position, which is where he's been playing for his club. Here comes Rasiak trying to reach the cross. Clever play by Krzynówek, and here's Rasiak.
There's always a danger, John, when you're making so many changes, especially as players are getting tired, that you start to lose your shape, and it's so important now, I feel, that we don't concede another goal. It would be, the mood of confidence if we win tonight's game, I think, is so important.
Don't think there's much joy at Lansdowne Road for the Ireland supporters. Republic of Ireland 0, Switzerland 0 with 5 minutes to go. That score would mean that Switzerland go into the playoffs and the Republic go out of the World Cup. We've also heard that Spain have, reduced, they've got into the playoffs, which means that Serbia and Montenegro have won that group and got automatic qualification. So Spain have got a bit to do. Here's Baszczyński. Radomski. Poland throwing a few players forward now in an attempt to save this match. Radomski again. Here comes Jop. And Wayne Rooney doing his share of chasing back here.
He's worked tirelessly tonight, Wayne Rooney. I mean, we all realise what he can do when he's on the ball, but he works so hard to help his teammates out when they're defending.
(2-1) was the score by which England won in the first meeting in Poland just over a year ago. It was a big result at the time because England had just dropped points in Austria. But Poland since then have been unbeaten, so this is no mean performance by Eriksson's team. A free kick for Jenas there. Oh, look at that weather. Needs the raincoat, doesn't he? A couple of minutes of stoppage time will be added on the 90. But there's a good, healthy mood around the ground here as England prepare to take a free kick. Peter Crouch, the obvious target. It's Ferdinand to hang it up. There's Rasiak there to win that one. Carragher, Alan Smith jumping and trying to get a tackle in. Forward by Jop, back by Ferdinand. Baszczyński, number 4. Rasiak.
The referee has indicated a minimum of 2 minutes.
2 minutes has been signalled. This is Żewłakow. It's a deep cross. Smith helping to clear it. hooked away by Terry. Here's Crouch, can he bring Rooney into the game? Well, Rooney's got a free kick. He's taken a tumble and hurt his back. And
he certainly has hurt his back. That was got spun right round there and I think landed awkwardly on his leg and then twisted his back slightly, but he's a strong lad, Wayne Rooney, he'll be fine.
Well, they're getting ready to cheer an England victory. Just over a minute of the added time to go. This is Jenas.
We've made life difficult for ourselves over recent sort of months, but it's great to see the team playing so well, and to a man they've all had good performances. Good to see Rio Ferdinand looking sharp as he has done for so long for England.
That's Rooney on the far side trying to make something of it. So you give England a plus tonight, Graham, overall?
Oh, definitely. I think I'm trying to think of sort of the performances throughout the team. Everybody's done well. Everybody's taken responsibility. They've shown good composure on the ball. They've shown that they want to play. They want to work hard together, and the results come because of that. It's come because of the start that we had. We started really positively, and if we hadn't have won tonight, it would have been very disappointing.
Well, England have won tonight, and they've won the group as well. They'd have settled for that when the qualifying competition started. Sven-Göran Eriksson congratulating his staff. And England, who took the lead in the 43rd minute, were level at half-time because of a goal in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Then stuck at the task, and 10 minutes from the end, this man, Frank Lampard, volleyed a beauty to give England victory, to put them top of the group. And the Poles didn't play at all badly, but on the night England were better, they were stronger, they were certainly more advanced with Rooney coming back into the side, and all in all that's a pretty satisfactory performance, we would say. So the crowd are in good heart too as the players go off. So as we said, whenever they play that song, it may not be the way to Amarillo for the England team, but it's certainly the way to Germany. And they can now look forward to a match against Argentina in Geneva in November, the last match of the year, of the calendar year, and then the draw will take place in Leipzig in December. There's a lot to look forward to now. The mood is improved markedly, even if the weather hasn't, over the last 4 days. We have a result here tonight at Old Trafford. England 2, Poland 1.
Very nice there to see the England players and the manager with a smile on their face, and I think they've given us all a smile this evening.
Yeah, they were very good. I think the last 3 performances, just think the average tonight, they looked a good side. The better the chances, the better the play. They got right after the poles from the word go, higher up the pitch, compressed the play, some great performances, and 1 or 2 performances that will give this man food for thought.
Yeah, I would echo that without a doubt. The key for me was starting well, as we said after the game on Saturday. It's very difficult to pick up when you haven't when you started poorly, but today they started well, and everything for me was right about their game. And as Alan said, he's got some tough decisions, because for me Frank Lampard actually ran that midfield tonight with someone sitting behind him, not the extra responsibility of having to think whether, well, can I go, can I sit? But Ledley King in there done a fantastic job as well. I thought everyone tonight was really
So you think perhaps the Lampard-Gerrard axis is possibly under threat?
Well, I don't know about that.
Good a player as Gerrard is.
He's a fantastic player as Steven Gerrard, but a lot of people have been saying, well, perhaps if he was to sit someone in front of the back four, it would make the midfield a little bit easier, and it certainly looked that way tonight. So from Ledley King's point of view, there's Nicky Butt, there's Scott Parker, there's Michael Carragher at Tottenham, so there is hope for those players, because all those players can play in that role.
we know this bunch of players can play. They're all talented footballers. For me, again, it starts how they start the game, and also where they played the majority of the game tonight is in the opposition half, both with and without the ball.
The key difference being higher tempo.
Higher up the pitch, playing to the strengths. I agree with Alan. I think that Ledley King was fantastic in that holding position, better than I thought he could possibly play. I mean, he's come from centre back, and I think it's easier to go forward than come back the way, but his positional sense, his discipline, and on the ball he wasn't bad either. And I tell you, you would look at his performance tonight and say he's got a decent chance of playing in that.
He's a player who handles international football. Look at him in the Euros, he was excellent. I don't think